Hi everyone. Today I have just a really quick lesson for you guys to do. I'm going to have you get Eclipse set up and ready to program some Java code. So the first thing I need you guys to do that don't have school laptops is actually watch the other video that's posted, and this will help you set up Eclipse, download it, download the JDK, and hopefully that works and there's no errors there. Um, if you have a school laptop, then you should already have Eclipse installed and you can just go ahead and start it up. And so if you don't have it installed, then go ahead and install it with the other video, and then you can pick up with this video at this point right here. So I'm going to assume you have Eclipse installed already. It doesn't really matter what version you have. If you just downloaded it, you probably have a later version of it. And so it'll take a second to load up here. But this is what it looks like whenever you load it up. For the first time, it's going to have like a little welcome screen tab, which you can just exit out of. And there's a little like check mark in the bottom right that says show this welcome screen on startup, and you can check that, and then it won't show up anymore. Right. You might have a couple side panels here that you can X out of if you want. Basically, the way I have mine set up, and this is how I like to code, is I like to have my file system over here, which in Eclipse is called the Package Explorer. I like to put the main body of my code in this big window here, and then my output, which is in this bottom box here for console. So this will help us to debug when we have issues like that. All right. On the left-hand side, you probably don't have anything if you just installed Eclipse, or if you're opening this for the first time, you won't have any files here. I have a couple that I've already done, but basically what you're going to do is when you create a program file, you're going to create a folder for said program files to store them. And these are going to be stored somewhere within your workspace. When you first open up Eclipse, you probably get a window that looks like this. Oops, I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. Hold on a second. Okay. After this loads, you're going to get a pop-up window. I accidentally opened up the wrong window here. Switch workspace other. Okay, so you're probably going to get a Eclipse IDE launcher window that looks like this, where you actually have to create a workspace. And so the first time you open it, what I actually want you to do is create a folder somewhere on your OneDrive or somewhere on your desktop, or somewhere, somewhere wherever you can find it, that's just called Java Workspace. So what I like to do is I like to go into my OneDrive, and I'll make one for this semester. So you can see I have workspaces for the different years. And so I'm actually going to right click here and say create a new folder. And I'll call this Sherrick workspace. And this is spring 2020. So I'm going to label it there. All right. And so I'm going to use this folder as my workspace. So I'm going to select that, hit launch, and then it will launch Eclipse. And then this actually should be a new workspace, so we will have to set it up like our other one, which is fine. So you can see. All right. So here we have some of the stuff I was talking about. Always show welcome at startup, so we can check that box. We can exit out of this welcome screen. I like to X out a task list. Some people like Outline to keep it open. You could do that if you want, but otherwise, I just close out of it. All right. Package Explorers on the left. If you would like to set up preferences, and if you want a dark mode, you can go into preferences, window preferences, appearance, and you can change the theme. And you can kind of see what it looks like. It says a restart is required for the full thing to take effect. So next time you open the workspace, it will put that theme all in. Very important stuff, getting the cosmetics to look right? All right, so here we go. This is our basic workspace. What we're going to do is we're going to add some files. So I've shared some files with you on Schoology. We're going to add those into our workspace folder. And so what I want you guys to do is actually right click on, or sorry, you got to download the files first. So let's go over to our window here this is for our Schoology page. You should see under the distance learning day 13 folder, there's a karl.zip, and you go ahead and click that, and then go ahead and just save that zip file, and then hit open folder after, and you'll see it comes up in your downloads. First thing I want you guys to do is extract this. So go up to compressed folder tools, hit extract all, and then we'll get a folder inside of that folder. So we have a folder called Karl, and then there's another folder called Karl inside of that folder because of the way that it extracts it. And then there's a bunch of files inside of that folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this folder here, and I'm going to right click and say copy. Or if you want to cut it, you can. I'm just going to delete these from my downloads later. Now I made a workspace in my OneDrive. So I'm going to copy this inner Karl folder to my workspace folder. And put it in there. And so now you'll see in this folder, I have a folder called Karl. And if I click on it, there's a bunch of these text files inside and some GIF files, whatnot. All right. And so that's all you need to do from the file system. So download the zip file, extract it, and then copy and paste the inner Karl folder into your workspace folder that you created. All right. And so now we're going to go back into Eclipse. And here what we need to do is we need to say file, new, and then Java project. Okay, file, new, Java project. And then what we want to name the project is Karl. So this should be, it should automatically configure the JRE and project layout based on the existing source. So because we copied and pasted that folder into that existing source, this should work. If you don't see this message pop up here when you type in Karl, make sure first of all that you typed Karl in. Sorry, something's happening here. Okay, let me go back through there. File, new, Java project, type in Karl. And you should see this message here. The wizard will automatically configure the JRE. If you don't see this pop up, recheck, make sure you type that in exactly as it is. Make sure you typed it correctly. Make sure you put the folder, the Karl folder, into the right workspace folder. Otherwise, it should work. You hit finish, and it will create a project for you. Okay. And so now we get basically this this layout here where we have a default package. We got draw grid, Karl, main, robot, and util.java files. We have a bunch of text files, and we have some GIF files. All right. If you open up the main, this is the one that we're going to be running. You can see here it is public class main, public static void main string args run Karl. So this is our main function that's going to run the program, which it's going to call this function run Karl right here, which is going to load in a map and call a function called complete maze. All right. So if I just right click on this window here and hit run as Java application, that will work. Or I can go up to this play button and hit the play button right here. And hopefully what you see is this little maze output pop up with Karl. All right. And if you get that, then you're good for today. As long as you have that set up, then we're gonna, continue with this tomorrow. We're gonna do some basics. So I just want to make sure that everyone has it set up, has it running, can get this to show up. If it doesn't work, the video is like 10 minutes. Just work through the steps again. If it still doesn't work after that, then send me an email and I can help you debug it or help you work through that. Okay. So yeah, the that's it for today. We'll keep going with this a little bit more tomorrow. All right. See you then.